To start our videos today, I have one question for everyone. What is the Buddhism and where it come from? First today I will explain to you guys what is the Buddhism. Buddhism originated in India more than 2,500 years ago. When Siddhartha Gautama or Buddha became enlightened himself at the age 35, nearly 215 years after his nirvana, Buddhism became a world religion thanks to mercy of King Asoka, who set up missionaries to bring the Buddha teaching to Asia and some European countries. Up to this point, Buddhism has spread to Vietnam for nearly 2,000 years, experienced ups and downs in the nation's histories, and has presented vitality, attractive rhythm of life of the Vietnamese people. Vietnamese Buddhism today both retains the basic teaching of the original Buddhism and has a harmony suitable with Vietnamese culture. The main idea of the Buddhism is to teach people to be good, help knowledge to build a good and happy life in the present. Buddhism does not recognize that there is a supreme being who governs human life, does not bless or inflict harm on anyone, but in life each person must obey the law of cause and effect. Doing good deeds will enjoy happiness, and evil deeds must be retribution. Buddhism is also shown to be a progressive religion when it does not have a case attitude. If you want to know more about the origin of Buddhism, let's listen to the story of the Buddha life by the next presenter is Nhi.
Today I will tell the story of the Buddha life. The origin of Buddhism. Buddhism were born in India from the 6th century BC. In the condition of society divided according to the unequal caste system. Buddhism were born as the successor and continuation of famous religious and philosophical movement of ancient India, and is considered as one of the social doctrines again introduced in contemporary society. Despite living in a royal life, the friends still recognize the suffering of life and impermanence of the world. So the friends were determined to flee home to seek the way of life, the cause of suffering, and the method to eliminate suffering, to be freed from samsara. After many years of searching for teachers to learn the way, the friends realized that their cultivation method could not liberate people from suffering. Finally, the cow friends sat down to meditate under the Bodhi tree, and after 49 days and nights of meditation, the friends attained the unsurpassed way, becoming Shambhodhi, known as Buddha Sakyamuni. His father is King Suddhodana. His mother is Queen Maya. His life story from the beginning was like carrying an unusual mission. He was miraculously conceived. His mother dreamed of a sister's white elephant entering her side, and the purpose of the side assisted that the tribune would be a red king or a noble saint. The day his were born were also the day his mother died, right in the Lumbini Garden.
In this session, I will give statistics covering the populations of two provinces, Anyang and Kinyang, the number of followers of Buddhism. Anyang is a southwestern province in the Mekong Delta regions with a population density of about 2.413 million people, of which about 207,673 million are Buddhists. Religious followers account for 70.31% of the province's population. Anyang has more than 530 legal places of worship and many unrecognized ones. Next, Kinyang. Kinyang is a community area of many ethnic groups, so there is diversity in the religious activity, with a population of about 2.109 million people and 272.662 million Buddhists. The whole province of Kinyang now has a total of 206 monasteries and 377 places of worship and many other places of worship. Buddhism was the first religion to be transmitted to Kinyang and coexist peacefully with other religions in the course of local history. Kinyang Buddhism has accompanied the ethnic group, promoting the traditions of mutual affection, helping each other overcome difficulties and challenges in the process of reclaiming and establishing harmony. Buddhism has blended into the common flow of ethnic groups in Kinyang in the process of opening of the land here. At the same time, Buddhism also integrates with the good aspect of the people's long-standing traditional belief, facing the oppressive yoke of colonialism and imperialism. Buddhism accompanied the people in the struggle for national independence, Buddhist own way and for the good. The Buddhist scripture teaches people to have human morality, to love their fellow human beings, to yield to each other, to help the people in difficulty, not to be cruel to animals.
What is a common Buddhist greeting? In every country and religion around the world, there are different greeting ways. Especially, Buddhists have their way to greet other people. In daily life and the temple, Buddhists are rest. We often see them clapping hands in front of the church to greet each other. This gesture is called angelic mirror, face palm together in front of the church. In Buddhism, angelic mirror looks like a lotus flower. It is a form of non-verbal communication, meaning greet, good job, and pray. In addition to the ritual meaning, clasping hands in front of the church to greet other people also have a moral and humanist meaning. Pressing palms together in front of the church is a symbol of a lotus flower. That is offering to dedicate its fragrance for life. Near mud, but it doesn't stink like mud. Besides, in Vietnam, is a verbal communication way. Actually, mirror is considered more powerful than words from our mouth because they are believed to be better to show our feeling from the inside. Actually, mirror can be found in many countries like India, China, Vietnam, Japan, Korea, and on. Digital mirror has its meaning that can be found in each finger. The finger connects to 5 elements: sky, wind, fire, water, and earth.
Business Monroe, along with the development society, the uniform of Buddhism is becoming more and more diverse. That is shown more clearly in the ceremony of Buddhism. The popular color of Buddhism Monroe in Vietnam are yellow, blue, and red. In Kiên Giang and An Giang province, we often see orange on the Monroe that belong to Thousand Buddhism. This color represents joy, nature, and simplification. According to Buddhism, the Monroe includes from features of clothing of local people, and when Buddha passed a field of rice, he raised his idea that serving the uniform of Buddhism like the shape of the field, and this is representing the virtue that bring from prosperity and happiness to people.
Next, we will move to the general structure of the pagoda in Vietnam. Vietnam pagoda are always an architectural complex, including work items arranged according to different player solutions. The complex of temple space always follow the principle of systematic closure, creating a space separate from residential area but not too far away to facilitate the cultivation of monks and nuns, and educating scientific beings. The name of their cleaning solutions are named after the Chinese characters that are close to the architectural level of the pagoda, basically as follows. First, eating type of pagoda. There is the main hall on the upper hall called Đại Hùng Bảo Điện. That is the hall where the Buddha All-Stars are located, connected at right angle to the house of worship or the house in front. Next is Gom Taipei. More common is the executor with the main hall and the worship house parallel to each other and connected by a house called ancient burning house where the monks perform the ceremony. The type of domestic and foreign pagoda. A very common type of pagoda in the north of Vietnam is the architecture with 2 long corridors connecting the front house or the house of worship in the front with the house in back, which can be essential house of the Shanghai house in the back. Usually, it's the planning of 3 parallel houses, often called the lower pagoda, the middle pagoda, and the upper pagoda. such as Kim Ling Pagoda in Hanoi, Tai Fu Pagoda in Hatay. The last one is very simple. Space up the pagoda round there is a rock tower. It is called Tháp Pagoda. Here are some pictures of the basic pagoda gate, including a main gate in the middle and two side gates on either side. On weekday, people will travel by side gate, and on special holiday, the main gate will be open to welcome everyone. And the final is a video of the inside of the pagoda and the activity of those who visit.
Visiting pagodas for Tết holiday, a Vietnamese tradition. On the Lunar New Year holiday, we can see a lot of people going to the pagoda. Traditionally, during the first 3 days of the Lunar New Year, Vietnamese families go to the pagodas and temples to pray for health, happiness, and good fortune in the year ahead. When people visit the pagoda, they usually bring so many offering items. About the offerings, including flowers, incense, and fruit, are given to wish for a successful year for friends and relatives. Many people buy flowers and incense to offer at pagodas and temples during the Lunar New Year celebrations. Another interesting activity Vietnamese people often do while visiting pagodas and temples is picking birds. It is one of the customs on the Lunar New Year in Vietnam. At the Lunar New Year Eve and during Tết days, people usually pick birds at pagodas to pray for good luck and good fortune. These birds have short paragraphs to focus about one's fortune in the new year.